Hi everybody, welcome to Grub with Gabby, and today we're going to be making Loco Moco. Around this time of the year, we usually end up going to one of my favorite places, Maui. Because of the whole coronavirus situation, we will not be going to Maui, and I have been yearning for my favorite Hawaiian dish, Loco Moco. There's this place in Kihei called Kihei Cafe, and they make an out-of-this-world Loco Moco. It is so good, and all I've been wanting is to go there and shove it in my face and have a moment, and I can't do that. But what I can do is I can make it here. We're gonna be spicing it up a little bit, so instead of just classic white rice on the bottom, we're gonna do kimchi Spam fried rice. And then on top of that, just good old patty, and then we're just gonna have this super decadent gravy that's gonna have caramelized onions and mushrooms. And it's gonna be really, really good. I'm super excited for you guys to make this with me. What do I tell them to like or subscribe?
Like this video.
Oh, if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe, notification. I don't know where all these buttons are gonna be, but you get the idea. And follow me on Instagram, because a lot of times I'll be posting stuff and you don't wanna miss a video or a recipe that I'm gonna be posting. So let's get started.
First things first, we need to get our onions caramelizing for our gravy. Anyone who tells you that you can caramelize an onion in 5 minutes is a liar and cannot be trusted. I like to allot at least 15 minutes to allow them to get gooey, golden, and delicious. Slice half an onion into 1/4-inch uniform slices and toss her into a pan with a little olive oil and a pinch of salt. Set her over low heat and give her an occasional stir while prepping the rest of your ingredients. Now, since I have a surplus of shallots at my place, I'm thinly slicing one to fry up and put on top. This is totally optional, but I honestly love fried shallots on pretty much everything. Then I'm taking 1 cup of cremini mushrooms, popping off the butt so I can save those for homemade stock later down the line, and I'm gonna slice the rest of these into 1/4-inch slices for our gravy. Now we're slicing 4 green onions 2 ways. We're thinly slicing the white and light green part to toss into our rice, and then we're also gonna cut those dark green tops at a very aggressive diagonal so that we can garnish our finished product. Trust me, much prettier for the gram that way. Next up, we're chopping half a cup of cilantro for our fried rice. There's no real science to this. You just rock your knife over the little leaves to get semi-even pieces, and then you just try not to make it look like there's an earthquake hitting LA. I'm prepping our kimchi, which consists of putting 1 cup of kimchi onto a paper towel, or preferably a cheesecloth, and get out any pent-up aggression by wringing it dry and squeezing out all of its juices. Once we finish squeezing the crap out of our kimchi, we'll be left with 1 cup of dry kimchi and a 1/4 cup of kimchi juice, and 1 very distressed paper towel. Now, wad up the kimchi into a little ball and slice it in one direction, and then run the knife through in the opposite direction to get fine little pieces. All right, time to prep our Spam. This, along with the kimchi, are the 2 most alienating elements to our rice, so if you're not vibing with either of these guys, you can actually simplify this entire recipe and just serve your Loco Moco over rice with some cilantro and green onion. We're gonna slice this block or cube or whatever you call it into 1/4-inch cubes, and then we're gonna get ready to rumble. Preheat the wok or pan that you're using, and you want this baby to be hot. So the best way to tell this is to fling a little water on the pan, and if the water beads up and starts dancing, it's ready to go. Now, once all of the water has evaporated, add 1 tablespoon of canola oil and 2 scrambled eggs with a pinch of salt. Now, this is gonna be the fastest egg you have ever cooked in your life, so have a plate on standby and take it off the heat as soon as it's 3/4 of the way cooked. Now it's time to add our Spam, or not if you just want to make kimchi fried rice, but that's honestly your loss because Spam is delicious. And we're going to fry these guys up in 1 tablespoon of canola oil, stirring frequently so that they get crispy and golden, like so. Once our Spam is looking appropriately crisped, we're going to throw in our dried kimchi and stir it into the mix. Now, the most important part of this whole wok equation is to just keep stirring so that nothing sticks and burns to the bottom. 2 minutes later, throw in 4 cups of rice. We're also going to be adding 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of sesame oil, 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, a pinch of sugar, and kimchi juice that we did not throw away from earlier. Now stir to incorporate those magical flavors until everything begins to come together in harmony. 2 minutes later, we're bringing our eggs off the bench and putting them in. Last step for our fried rice, kill the heat, throw in our chopped green onion and cilantro. At this point, the house is smelling pretty freaking incredible, and I would be lying if I said I didn't stop and have a mini rice snack break. You could honestly stop here and be stoked, but trust me, if you think this is great, you are not even ready for the rest of it. Now on to the moco. A lot of Loco Moco recipes add all kinds of nonsense to their burger, and I'm not about that. If you have a great ground beef, then sprinkle it with a little salt and pepper and it's gonna be amazing. So salt and pepper both sides of this bad boy, toss them down on a hot cast iron or whatever pan, and your burger's ready to flip once the meat begins to look brown 3/4 of the way up the side. Flip it, admire the amazing crust, and then pull it off as soon as it feels firm when you poke it. Now I would be a fool to waste all of those tasty brown bits left over from our burger, so I'm gonna incorporate that beefy goodness into my gravy. I'm tossing my sliced mushrooms with a pinch of salt to help make them sweat, and then once my mushrooms begin to soften, we're gonna pan back over to our now caramelized onions and add those gorgeous golden beauties into our pan. Now the only thing that can make this situation better is probably some alcohol, so we're gonna add a splash or two of vermouth and then mix everything together while the alcohol cooks off. Time to add our liquid. I have 2 cups of beef broth, 1 teaspoon of optional oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and a teaspoon of Worcestershire or whatever. Now this tastes great, but we need to get this gravy to our desired viscosity, or it's not a gravy, it's a soup. To do that, we're gonna take 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and combine it with a little water and mix it into our soon-to-be gravy. Now, first you're gonna think that nothing's happening, but once this comes to a boil for a few minutes, this gravy's gonna thicken into this beautiful velvety texture. Back to my optional fried shallot, I'm heating up a few tablespoons of canola oil over medium-high heat and frying these babies until golden and crispy. You can't have a Loco Moco without a fried egg, and I'm frying mine with a little pat of butter and a tiny bit of sesame oil. Once the egg whites are, well, white, and there isn't any excess jelly on top, your egg's ready to go. Time to assemble our masterpiece. If you care about presentation, pack a bowl of rice and then invert it onto your eating surface. Top that rice with our patty, a generous helping of our decadent gravy, and don't forget our beautifully fried eggs. Add any accoutrements that you want, such as our fancy green onions from earlier, maybe a little bit of red pepper seasoning, and oh yeah, my fried shallots. Now people, this is in no way, shape, or form diet food, but let me tell you, I would run a marathon for this dish. I mean, can you talk about comfort food? I may not be able to go to Maui, but I can at the very least eat this mountain of amazingness. Look at that. I mean, that might not be appropriate for television. I don't even know what to say. I'm a little embarrassed that I'm posting this, but let me just tell you, between the rice, the perfectly medium rare beef patty, that little tiny bit of shallot, the fried egg, ugh, I can't even show you my face while I eat this because I know that I'm gonna get a lot of weird comments, but I just have to say thank you guys so much for watching my first video, and if you're still here, you get out of here and go make this right now. But before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and then hit the bell so you get notified for my next video. Thanks, y'all.